everyone! Welcome to the channel of Batican. So my name is Magno. I'm from Beltone City and I'm here after 2 years. I first came here because I was diagnosed with bipolar and I used to be so depressed. And now I'm back here to check up with Doc Batican because I went through another phase of mental health issues that I want to be able to address and talk about with Doc Batican. So now I'm here. I came here in December of 2017. It was literally a day after I wanted to commit suicide. That was the last time I thought about committing suicide and actually wanting to get through with it. I also learned that mental health really is one of the most important things that one should think about. Not just now for the pandemic, but even before. In order for us to be better people, we need to also think about how well we are mentally. And the difference between then and now is that now everything is so clear. Everything is normal, especially when it comes to mental health. That's why I've become a mental health advocate. It's because I want to be able to help other people. Because I know that we all have mental health issues, and because it's such a taboo, nobody talks about it. And when you go to a psychologist, automatically buang na ka, you're crazy. It's not the issue. If you're watching this and you believe that your friends or your family can no longer help you, you should really seek professional help. Because that was one of the best, most incredible decisions I've ever made, was to actually seek professional help and not judge myself for being crazy, but to really acknowledge that problems like this do happen to no matter who you are, rich or poor, with family, without family, with friends, without friends. We all need somebody to talk to that is not somebody who knows us personally. But of course, it's a journey. So the difference between then and now is that I've become better. Of course, as a mother, I have to be an example to my son. And that's one of the main reasons why I want to talk about mental health, is because as a single parent and as a mother at that, I am also, worried about postpartum depression and getting it, because I'm the only person that my son can count on, aside from the staff that we do have at home. But of course, because I am his sole legal guardian, I have to make sure that I'm mentally capacitated to be a mom. And nobody actually prepares you for it. But I feel now that because I dealt with my mental health issues and continue to deal with my mental health issues, I've become a better mom.
And so far, ano yung mga changes sa life mo now that you become a mother? I know it's a lot of
surprisingly, I've become very less. The very first thing that really changed is that I really stopped caring about what other people thought of me. I really just only have an audience of 2 people, God and my son. So that's really what changed for me. There is no audience. There is only my son. Because what matters most is that I raise somebody who is better than me. That I am contributing to a better world by raising a better man. So instead of complaining about so many things that don't make sense, of the many things that people are usually cynical about, I really stopped being that and focused on the things I can change and can control. So that is myself and raising my son. But what I feel now is that we are now living with a purpose. And that is one of the most important things that I think changed within me when I became a mom, because I get to focus on something. I finally have dreams. I hope this is relatable, no? But when I was single, I didn't live for anybody. But now that I'm a mom, I'm living for my son. I finally am able to have dreams, not just for us, but for me. I finally have dreams. I finally have career goals. I finally have business goals. And I finally get to do the things that I want to do without the fear of being judged. Because for me, the only audience and the only person to judge me is either God or my son.
Wow. Jam, I'd like to ask you this question, especially sa mga interested, for those who are undergoing some crisis, or those who have been dealing with some mental health issues. How do you deal with stress, anxiety, and mood problem?
I block it out. I think I've become the CEO of blocking people out. The first time I came here, that was one of the things you taught me, was to compartmentalize within myself and my brain those things that made me feel inadequate, and those negative thoughts and those things that really affected my peace and my mental health in general. So automatically, when something is negative, and as long as it is negative in the sense that it will disturb my peace, I block it out. Regardless, you can be family, you can be friends, you can be an acquaintance, you can be somebody random. If I feel that you are disturbing my peace, you gotta go. So one of the things that I learned is, yes, again, I block people out. Number 2, when it gets too much, I'm honest. When it is too much, I am honest, and I demand for rest. I get professional help. Number 3, I honestly am going through a lot of trauma right now. In the last few months of this pandemic, on top of the pandemic, I went through a lot of stress and trauma. And one of the things that I really had to face was, despite all of the trauma that I felt, I had to seek help. I had to come back here. I had to face it. I needed time to rest and think and accept that anxiety has gotten the best of me. And it doesn't make me any less of a mother. It doesn't make me less of a friend or a public servant. It only reinforces the idea that in order for me to be more effective, in order for me to be more helpful to other people, I need to take care of me. Nobody shares from an empty cup. You shouldn't share from an empty cup. So you need to be happy. You need to feel love within yourself and from other people, and always choose the company that you keep. Always hang out with like-minded people, with people who are kind to themselves and to others. So with anybody, if you're watching this and you are not okay, remember that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to communicate. It's okay. What's not okay though is ranting too much and not actually doing anything about it. I don't advocate for ranting. I'm totally against, because I rather that I would always be pretty, and I would always be positive, and I would always just bring good vibes to other people. It's okay to walk away from certain things that don't help you. It's okay to walk away from situations where you feel that you're being attacked, you're being abused, you're being stepped on, you're being hurt. It's okay. It's okay to save yourself. As for me, I walked away. I left my comfort, what seemed like my comfort zone. I left it and I stood on my own and became fiercely independent.
Jam, how important is moral support or social support in the treatment of those people facing difficulties or with mental health issues?
Integral. Most important. Because number 1, when you have a friend that you know is going through treatment, don't think they're crazy. One thing I learned though is to be an effective friend, don't tell them that they are wrong. Don't make them feel that their mental health issues are easy. They never are. One of the hardest things to deal with is my own brain. And I don't need somebody telling me that, oh, because you're so stubborn, oh, because you're this and that. You're not a doctor. You're not a psychologist. You don't, as a friend, you're supposed to be the kind of friend that says, you know what? You need to get help, go get it. You need money for your treatment, here you go. You need a ride to your treatment, here you go. Do you need somebody to buy you food when you're done with treatment? Here you go. Do you need a person to deal with all of the things like booking a hotel or just the logistics of your treatment? There you go. That's the kind of friend or support that we all need. Personally, that's one of the things I'm most grateful for.
Jam, how do you see yourself like 5 years from now?
Wow. 2. I would probably be the youngest. Am I allowed to even say this? I'm probably gonna be one of the youngest ever female, one of the first female counselors of Butuan City. I know that's kind of a big thing to say right now because I'm not even, but probably in 5 years I'd probably be a really good and well-recognized public servant in Mindanao. That's a dream that I will finally put into words. I'd probably be that. But regardless, I'd still be Jam Magno. I'd still be the head of Team Moy Reclamo. And in 5 years, I would probably have a 6-year-old son. And he will probably go to school, and we would probably relocate in Dumaguete City if I'm not able to be in Butuan anymore. So that's what I would be in 5 years. I'd be happily single with a son. I probably still have thriving businesses. I probably would have been able to have my staff graduate from college and get their college degrees. I would have probably built myself my own house. I would have probably given my primary caregiver her own house. And I would probably have helped close to about 30 to 40,000 people by just relentlessly doing public service without any exchange and even without an honorable attached to my name. So I think that's what I'll be in 5 years. Yes.
If you can give a message to your old self.
Thank God you didn't kill yourself. Thank God that you only had the perfect plan, but you were so bad at executing. Thank God that you never pushed for bad relationships. Thank God for not focusing on your inability to be in a relationship with a man and accepting that this isn't a bad thing. Thank God that romance isn't everything for you anymore. And thank God that you are empowered by your own faith and by building your faith in the Lord, because that's the best thing that ever happened to you, aside from the skincare that you chose to use. But again, thank God that you loved yourself more than anything, and thank God you're still here.
Final message to those people who are struggling right now and probably watching this video.
I always say this, laban lang. You are your worst enemy, but again, you are also the only person who can love yourself fiercely. Life is not ever going to be perfect. It's gonna be a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifices, and you're gonna face a lot more problems. So if you are not okay right now, look at me. I am an example of a survivor. I survived suicide because I said no. Because I believed, even in the last bit of hopelessness, I still believe that I am worth something. And now, 2 years later, I think that I am probably the most valuable person in my son's life, and I am not wrong. So again, your problems, they have solutions. And if you can't find it yourself, please seek someone who can find the solution with you. It's okay to ask for help.
Well said. Thank you very much, Jam. Say bye-bye.
Bye!